This channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, Game Master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment, and make sure that you use my code for a special discount. They currently have a Halloween sale going. This channel is proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released Uncharted Seas, a pseudo-historical RPG of maritime explorations in the Age of Discovery. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment, and make sure that you check out their ongoing contest as well. Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring the Walking Dead Universe RPG. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this tabletop role-playing game based on the popular zombie apocalypse franchise, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about fighting the walkers. When it comes to a single walker attack, or perhaps only 2 or 3 walkers that is less than a horde as defined in this book, then it's a single roll. You make a single test or check. If you are successful, you manage to kill the walker or the walkers, you manage to get away, it depends on your action. But if it's a failure, you're going to suffer a randomly determined injury. So it is much safer to fight humans than walkers in this tabletop RPG, because the result is random. Perhaps you get lucky and you jump to get away from the walker, you make a mobility roll, and if you fail, you fall and take 1 point of damage. Simple enough. But maybe the walker breaks your arm while you wrestle with it, and you take 3 points of damage. Or even worse, you are bitten in the throat, blood everywhere, you die. And there are other cinematic results, such as you think that you have actually killed the walker, you show your back to the walker, and the walker gets up and attacks you and kills you. Now when it comes to fighting a swarm, once the threat level reaches 3, when the walkers are aware of you and move in for their meal, the situation is dealt with in rounds, as in brawls. Depending on how large the group of survivors is, the battle is divided in groups of 3s. Or perhaps you have 5 survivors. You can only have 3 of those survivors fending off the walkers because it is quite chaotic. You could get in the way of the other survivors and their attacks, but it is truly depending on the context. If you have someone that is quite skilled in leadership, you can actually bolster the roles of the other player characters, even if you don't get a chance to make an attack. Depending on the number of survivors that are fending off the walkers, there could be some penalties. If you only have 2 survivors, then you take a -2 modifier. And if you are a single player character, you take a -4 to your third roll. That is, each combat round against a swarm of walkers involves 3 skill rolls. Even if you only have 1 player character, you are going to make 3 rolls, but the second roll gets a -2 penalty, and the third roll gets a -4 penalty. So it's always much better to have at least 3 player characters fending off the walkers, or trying to find out a way to escape from them. If you get a total number of successes equal to or greater than the swarm threat, and the swarm size is 3 or lower, you win the fight. The threat level goes down to 0, 1, or 2 as decided by the Game Master, depending on the situation. As long as the swarm size is 3 or less, you only need to win 1 round to end the fight, either because you killed all the walkers or you managed to run away or hide. If the swarm size is 4 or higher, winning a round just means the swarm size is reduced 1 step. Even if you win the round as a group, any player characters who mess up their skill roll suffers a single attack. If you get fewer successes than the current swarm threat, the walkers win the round, and the Game Master chooses one of the following options. The threat level is increased 1 step, the swarm size is increased 1 step, or the swarm attacks. And if 1 or more player characters messed up in a lost round, the Game Master chooses 2 options instead of 1. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about the Haven. Now there are other nuances when it comes to these simple checks. For example, maybe the player characters fail their roll against the walkers, but get at least half the successes needed to beat the walkers, then they have accomplished something helpful, even if they still lose a round. So you get 1 free extra success the next round. And you can handle any sort of situation with this simple and abstract system. What if there are walkers when you are fighting human opponents? Very simple, they still make their attacks. And you can actually fend off the attacks of the walkers without spending an action. This system also encourages the player characters to play to their strengths. Maybe you have a character that is a bruiser. You are obviously going to be using your melee weapon to take care of the walkers. But what if another character is quite agile or cerebral? Maybe you can use the environment to your advantage. Perhaps set up some sort of trap or use some sort of object, some obstacle to hinder or mislead the walkers, giving the other characters a chance to better eliminate them, or just make your escape. So this is an excellent zombie apocalypse battle system. This is one of my favorite systems, in fact. Thank you for watching this part of the review. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member and enjoying exclusive tabletop RPG tips. You can also use the super thanks button and check out the pinned comment below. This has been Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. I am currently unavailable for professional sessions, but I will put my contact information in the description and in the pinned comment for when I am available again. And remember, in tabletop RPGs, you are not telling stories about your characters, you are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you and see you later.